Welcome to our news and thank you for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Alive facing heavy criticism over the weekend after the company's app used for Junkanoo enthusiasts to purchase tickets was flagged. Officials are addressing the system issue in a moment, but we begin with this. It appears as if there has been some progress on the redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport, with a local daily reporting that a Bahamian group is working out a partnership with the Dublin Airport Authority. It's welcome news for Grand Bahamans who've been asking for a new, more adequate airport facility since the passage of Hurricane Dorian.
No, that's good news because we need it badly, really badly.
Dale McIntosh is one of several residents we spoke to about the potential progress surrounding the redevelopment of the Grand Bahama International Airport. McIntosh reacting to reports that the Dublin Airport Authority was recently in Grand Bahama to meet with the Freeport Airport Development Company. The DAA, a state-owned company, is stationed at the Dublin Airport and specializes in airport management, travel retailing, and aviation consultancy. The company has businesses in 15 countries across the world. The Our News team reached out to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper, who reiterated his comments that the government is close to sealing the deal for the project, but are not ready as yet to make an announcement. He also said government is committed to having a world-class airport in Grand Bahama. We also spoke to other Grand Bahamans who say this new development is good news.
I drive a taxi. I'm out there every single day in the week, except for Sundays. I go to church on Sundays. But they did a little temporary thing there, and it can only hold about 100 people, you know. So we need to boost the economy, the people coming in, you know, and the hotel. Let's put a hotel in that too.
Not knocking on the previous government, but I think that should have been one of the first things they do, because, you know, we wait for our tourists, you know, that's our industry. So that is really badly needed.
I can't wait for the airport because, you know, I used to do a lot of traveling.
An armed robbery, but this crime had a shocking and disturbing twist as the armed robbers were dressed up as police officers. Police say just after 6 a.m. on Saturday, two men were on their way to the airport when they were stopped by a gray vehicle with blue and white flashing lights. Two men exited the vehicle dressed in police gear, flashlights, and shotguns. They reportedly robbed the victims of their cell phones, a suitcase, and wallets containing an undisclosed amount of cash. The suspects fled the area south along Gladstone Road. As police hunt for the suspects, they are continuing to advise the public to be vigilant this holiday season. Well, a man who struggled to breathe after a policeman placed a knee on his neck 4 years ago has been awarded $103,000 in damages. Justice Indra Charles also awarded $35,000 in legal costs. Marlena Leonard reports.
Lyndon Saunders filed a suit against the Attorney General's office, Inspector Jerron Thompson, and Corporal Jamiko Thompson, the officers involved in the September 2018 incident. Saunders says on that day he was headed to work on his motorcycle when he encountered a traffic accident on Prince Charles Drive that blocked the westbound lanes. In order to avoid the obstruction, Saunders rode his motorcycle along the sidewalk. While doing so, Corporal Thompson stopped him and ordered him to dismount his motorcycle, which was neither licensed nor insured. According to Saunders, he complied with the directive to get off of his bike. Saunders said the officers confiscated his bike after he told them he didn't have a driver's license. He said when he walked off, Inspector Thompson called him back. After he returned, Saunders said Inspector Thompson raised his hand as if he was about to hit him. Saunders said he told the officer that he knew his rights and that he had done nothing to warrant being hit. Saunders said the inspector dared him to, quote, say another word, end quote, before he punched him in the face, and Corporal Thompson punched him in the back of his head. That's when Inspector Thompson, according to Saunders, body slammed him on the ground, causing injuries to his teeth, mouth, and nose. He said the officers cuffed him behind his back. Saunders said he was turned on his back and Inspector Thompson forcibly pressed his knee on his neck and throat area. Police detained Saunders for 30 hours. Justice Charles ruled that he was unlawfully detained because the traffic offenses that he committed were not arrestable offenses. The judge also ruled that the officers used excessive force in subduing Saunders, who was much smaller than them. Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Thanks, Marlena. Well, nearly 150 people were arrested for serious offenses during a 7-day period Police say between November 22nd to November 29th, 148 suspects were taken into custody for murder, armed robbery, attempted armed robbery, stealing, housebreaking, resisting arrest, and obscene language. Pleasant conditions outside the Our News studios this evening. Forecaster Ian McKenzie joins us from the Weather Center with the latest. Ian?
The weather is brought to you by Confidence Insurance Bahamas Agency Limited. At Confidence Insurance, we care and we serve.
Thanks, Italia, and good evening, Bahamas. This is your first look at weather for this evening. Currently outside our studios, we're under mostly clear skies, a temperature of 76 degrees. Your winds out of the north-northeast at 9 miles per hour with a feels-like temperature of 79. Taking a look at our satellite picture at this time, we have a few spotty showers just to the west of Grand Bahama, and this is associated with a frontal boundary that stalled just north of us and will continue to wash out over the next several hours. However, we do anticipate a high-pressure system to build just to the west of us, along with a low-pressure system, and these two combined should generate a nice northeast to easterly flow across the islands. So we're advising boaters and beachgoers to exercise caution over the next several days. This has been your first look at weather, brought to you in part by Confidence Insurance, where we care and we serve.
Still to come on Our News, the special advisor who helped plan the 1973 independence celebrations is back on the job for our 50th independence celebrations. How he says this anniversary will be special. Plus, Junkanoo ticket sales are digital. We'll tell you how many tickets have been sold so far and how Alive is beating the weekend's technical challenges. Plus, there's no place like home for the holidays. And for the children of the Randolph Home, it's no different. We'll tell you how you can make their Christmas extra special this year. Stay with us. Former Cabinet Minister John Smith has been appointed as a special advisor to the government for the country's 50th independence events. In a statement, Prime Minister Philip Davis said the preparation for and the celebration of events next year must be worthy of this defining period in the Bahamas and the lives of its people. Smith says the appointment is an honor for him because he was tasked with the same duties for Independence Day back in 1973.
I believe that 50 years later, even the Bahamians who may have opposed independence in 73 have come to realize we have survived. Through many difficulties, struggle, and sacrifice, the Bahamian people have survived. It affords us an opportunity to look back at the past with a desire to be educated by the experiences of the past that even predated the vote on independence, and then turn our heads, as the national anthem say, to the rising sun.
And as for what Bahamians can expect, Smith says,
they can look forward to greater involvement in the process of what will take place next year. We will clean up the Bahamas, we will beautify the Bahamas, we will look at the curricula at the schools. We will look at how we could empower Bahamians by enriching the possibilities of a sovereign wealth fund designed to empower ordinary Bahamians and to make our country economically viable for everybody.
Alive taking heavy criticism over the weekend after the app used for Junkanoo enthusiasts to purchase tickets was flagged. Amid the firestorm over the weekend, officials are apologizing to customers, saying they have corrected the issue. Berthing McDermott has the details.
In its quest to provide a digital means to provide Junkanoo tickets, Alive was faced with challenges over the weekend. Alive Chief Information Officer Dwayne Davis says the Alive Events app was flagged as spam over the weekend.
Because we sent over 15,000 emails in the space of 2 hours, so we were blocked from sending confirmations. So what we did was we took the app offline, we reapplied to get the app whitelisted, which happened later into Saturday. And then we took the app offline to make some further enhancements on the back end in the stores.
He says as of Sunday, 1,800 Junkanoo tickets were already sold. 1,600 of those tickets were bought online. At the moment, the events app is only available on the Google Play Store. For that, Davis is apologizing to Apple users.
Unfortunately, Apple is a little more stringent than Google. So the Google app was accepted, Apple was rejected with further requirements. The reason why we decided to go to market is because the majority, at least 80 to 85% of our customer base are Android users. So as not to disenfranchise everyone, we decided to launch with the Android app.
Now, while the app isn't available for iPhone users, Davis says Alive is working to make that adjustment, which he says will come soon.
This morning they said that it's a ticket purchasing app, and we had to make sure we set the age limit for children that are able to do it. We have made that adjustment and we submitted to Apple, and they normally come with us within 12 to 24 hours. So I'm hoping to have it by tomorrow if everything goes okay.
The Alive Events app is the first time in the history of Junkanoo that patrons were able to do real-time purchases online. The app will provide updates during the Junkanoo parades, allow supporters to watch live, and give weather updates. Despite the hiccups, Davis says lessons were learned.
My team and I, we did our best. Nothing is perfect, but the good thing is we saw what the problem was, right? The great news is that Bahamas are getting more adapt to using online e-commerce. The thing was, it wasn't a capacity issue. It was simply a processing issue.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions, the experts for all your business needs. This has been your Financial Market Minute. Cable Bahamas Business Solutions, giving you trusted solutions that work for you and your business. Contact us today.
When our news comes back from the break, the Carnival is back in town with a few new experiences. We get a preview of what's to come.
Plus, coming up in sports for this evening, the Bahamas national men's baseball team with a dramatic come-from-behind victory against the U.S. Virgin Islands. They get the Caribbean Cup off to a great start at the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond. We'll also tell you how one of our young equestrian athletes doing some tremendous things on the European soil. That's all coming up in sports.
How the Randolph Home for Children is making the holidays extra special and how you can help. We have all of the details when our news returns. This is our news. Welcome back. After not being granted permission to operate last year, the Christmas Carnival is back, but much different. Manager Joe Albert says they are ready to rock and roll, but this time around, the focus is on safety.
We're having a machine that everyone will be walking through to check for weapons or knives. You know, we're not going to allow people to just walk through. We're going to have scanners. They're going to walk through just to make it safe for the public and everyone feel a lot more safe.
He says some rides you were used to did not return this year, but they've been replaced.
But we replaced them with a Demon Loop, and we got the Fireball, and we got the Music Express, and the Sizzler, and the Surf City, and we got a couple brand new ones for the children. One called Minecraft. It's a walk-through fun house that they'll love.
All right, sounds great. I love the Carnival. Well, switching to sports, the Bahamas national baseball team off to a good start at the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Meanwhile, a young Bahamian rides off with first place at a top equestrian event in Europe. Here's Marcellus Hall with a look at sports.
Thanks, Natalia. Welcome to our sports, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Tonight, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'm in Tampa Bay, hoping to catch a glimpse of that game. Meanwhile, back at home, the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond coming to life last night for the first time as the Bahamas national team taking to the field. They took on the U.S. Virgin Islands in what turned out to be a very good game. Bahamas having to come from behind to get the huge win. 4-3 ends up being your final score. Let's take a look at those details. Opening ceremonies for the Caribbean Cup taking place last night at the new Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond. Various teams all making their arrival at the ballpark in grand fashion. Then followed a short opening ceremonies that included a speech by the Prime Minister of the country, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis. Now, afterwards, it was time for a battle as Team Bahamas getting their first set of action underway. They would take on the U.S. Virgin Islands and winning this one in dramatic fashion, 4-3, coming from behind after trailing late into the 8th inning. Bahamas getting it done. They are now 1-0 so far in tournament play. Looking forward to seeing what happens in their second matchup tonight. We'll give you details on that coming up for you tomorrow. Meanwhile, we do have some news coming in from equestrian of all things. As last night, we got some good news that one of our top equestrian riders performing at an event in Europe, doing extremely well. This is on the Grand Prix. Young lady by the name of Anna Camille Vaslov, giving the Bahamas all the kudos as she finished first in the event. We'll give you more details on that as it comes up. But right now, congratulations to Anna Camille Vaslov on a job well done. And that is your look at sports for you here on this Monday. I'm Marcellus Hall. Back to you, Italia.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the Randolph Home during the holidays. The special touches that will make spirits bright. Plus, can we look forward to cooler temperatures this week while Ian joins us from the Weather Center right after this break. Welcome back to our news. Mostly sunny and breezy conditions, bringing in cooler temperatures. Ian is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Ian?
Thanks, Natalia, and good evening again, Bahamas. Here's your final look at weather. In your extended forecast, we have this low-pressure system spinning just to the east of us, along with a building high-pressure system. These two systems combined will generate a nice northeast to easterly flow across us. However, this will generate some hazardous boating and beaching conditions, so we're asking you residents to exercise caution over the next several days. In the northwest Bahamas for you boaters, we have a small craft caution in effect. Winds will be northeast-east at 10 to 15 knots, building 15 to 20 knots by tomorrow. Seas will be 2 to 4 feet, also building up to 4 to 7 feet, and we have a low tide at 11:56 p.m. this evening. In the central and southeast Bahamas, also a small craft caution in that area. Winds will be north to northeast 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And here's a look at your national forecast. And finally, in your extended forecast, we do expect mostly fair and stable conditions from today straight into next Monday, with your lows into the comfortable 60s, upper 70s, and your highs getting into the low 80s. That puts a wrap on your forecast for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great evening, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. While some children are preparing to spend Christmas with family, others will spend their holidays in a home. Tonight, our Jamila Music explains how you can make a difference this Yuletide season at the Randolph Home for Children.
12 boys and 12 girls ages 12 through 17 are the residents at the Randolph Home for Children. And just like most other teenagers, they are looking forward to enjoying their Christmas holiday. However, the home's brand ambassador, Berniska Bullard, says the holidays are sometimes bittersweet.
As a former resident that lived here, the holidays can be really a time of, missing and longing that typical family. Sometimes, you see other children gifted with things things, and you may, you know, consider like, what about me? So I think that this time we do welcome persons, you know, to make donations.
And she says it's not always about giving money. This holiday season, you can also give the gift of your time.
But like, I really push the importance of spending time with the children. Like, even if you're able to come and do an activity and watch a movie with them or something around the home, they really love that. They love playing games, they love being in the yard and the open, and so everything and anything is welcomed.
The Randolph Home has a transitional building that can house up to 4 kids, and Bullard says they are constructing a few more.
One of the things that we realized is that once the kids were leaving Randolph, they had to find a place to live. We don't want them to go back in the toxic environments for some of them that they would have, you know, been taken away from. And so this is a way to give them a safe place to study. If they want to go to college, there's scholarships for that. We help them find jobs, get driving lessons, and so that is why it really is important for us to have the help of the public.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jamila Missick.
All right, great story, Jamila. Thank you. And thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.